Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Carnation Crafts TV. A bit of a different show today, but we are bringing you the brand new In the Sunroom collection. Now, this is a lovely big collection that you can see. You've got your card base in here. So you can see you're getting a lot in there, including obviously with Carnation, your card base. So the base, I am going to use this. We did demo this yesterday as well, showing exactly how it comes together. But you've got that lovely window effect there with those side panels. So it makes a really unusual looking card that you can build up. And it really does, it draws your eye in straight away. And you can use that for different occasions too. Then we've got our flowers next. So you've got another big die here. So you can see you've got lovely flowers. You've got the mister, you've got the masonry jar. What were you calling it yesterday, Bunny? A kilner jar. So different ways you can use it. You've got the pot there as well with those lovely flowers. So you can build these up around the window. Obviously use them in other collections as well. They're lovely elements to bring in. Then if we go down, you can see you've got your birds next. So you've got three lovely birds that I love that they're in different poses, they're different heights, different sizes, and they're looking in different ways. So you can bring them all in together or use them separate. You've got the perch there, you've got like a little hanging basket that you could use. You've got different elements there to help build and create your scene. And then you've got your sentiments. So you've got the matte and the sentiment die in there. You've got celebrating you. You've got sunshine, smiles, and joyful wishes. So you can bring those in. They're lovely size as well. I do love when Carnation bring us die sentiments. And then you've also got all of your little like trinket elements to really bring that scene together. You've got that lovely clock. And you've got the head there that you can decoupage on. You've got the little trinket box in there as well. So they're great elements to help build up your scenes. And then we do also have, now I adore these. Look how detailed these frames are. So you're going to get the three in here. Now these are our botanical lace collection. So it's 260107. These are so incredibly detailed. They've got the actual frame is almost like a petal design, so it's really, really detailed. These would look amazing if you wanted to go in and paper piece them, use them with acetate, color in the back, so you've got like a stained glass effect. These will look stunning. Now you're going to get the square, the rectangle, and the oval in here, and you can mix and match these up. So the lace panel doesn't actually have a cut edge, and then the frame has got the easy aperture, so you can cut those frames out. So you have got full reign on how you want to build these up, because you can mix and match these in so many different ways. And I will use these in our demos today, but really, really pretty dies to be able to get. And then, as always, we do have the perfect papers too. So obviously these are going to color coordinate perfectly with all the artwork from in the showroom, and you can see there how they will color coordinate. So you've got your solid colors, you've got the floral design, and you've got like the swirly design in there. No, we are going to go through the boards. Bunny is actually going to go through the boards for us because obviously I'm not live in the studio today, but we're going to watch Bunny go through the boards so we can see exactly what each one is going to look like. So we've got the card shape to start off with. So you can see you've got that lovely big window. You've got the tabs on the side. You've got pop-up elements on here as well. Lots of your master layers on there, so every panel is covered. Then you've got your florals. So you've got your floral, you've got the mister. Look at the flowers as well. Lovely long stems, so really easy to snip into these. And you can snip the stems down, so you can have them coming out of the pots or coming out of the jars, or you can mix them up and have them like going around the window. So different ways of using them. Then our birds, which I remember Bunny saying one is a wren, I think. And you've got the perches and you've got things there that you can pop them on. You've got the little basket there. So lovely elements to build the scene up. Then you've got that clock the trinket box. Look at the artwork on these. They are beautiful. You've got that, it almost looks like gold. They look metal. You've got lovely grounding elements in there as well. Then we go on to those sentiments, your three sentiments with the mats there. Lovely font on these as well. So you can see celebrating you, sunshine smiles and joyful wishes. Really lovely uplifting sentiments too. And then the frames, look at these. They are so detailed. I would highly recommend getting some cut tidy for these so they just cut perfectly every single time, first pass. They are so detailed. And what I love about them is you can mix and match them up. So you can cut out the frames, you can leave the floral panel out, or you can mix and match them up. Obviously, they are such a nice size as well. They're going to be great for your car bases. And equally, you can use the floral panels on their own as well. So you can have like little aperture windows in bigger cards. So if you wanted to use a larger card, like an 8x8, you mix and match those up in them as well. Right, so I'm going to start with my first demo and I'm going to use the card shape to begin with. So the card shape, when you cut these out, you're going to start by cutting out the main panel first. So this is that main panel window. Now you can see you've got that aperture style in the center. So you can cut that out if you want. You can just snip those little bits out and pop that middle panel out. Or you can pop the window into that panel and then you're going to have that die cut window effect in the middle bit. So you've got different options with this. Now this one, now we did do it yesterday where we made the card as it was intended to be made. So you can go back and watch that. For this one, I'm going to use just this center panel as my card. Okay, so we're just going to mix it up a little bit. So I've got this one now with the window in the center and I'm just going to pull off. I've already popped some foam tape along the back of here. So this is going to be our card, okay? So let's just pull that off there. Yeah, so I can still hear me and Bunny are still in communication with each other, even though we're far away. But so if you do want to message in, let us know what you've been up to. If you've purchased, maybe you're waiting for yours to get delivered, do message in and let us know. Or anything at all. Let us know if you had anything nice for Christmas, anything at all. Let us know. Now this panel, you can see I've just scored across the top. So I'm just going to grab my glue and I'm going to pop some glue just across that top panel. And that is going to just go on there like that. So this is going to be our card. Okay, so I am just using this part, not those side pieces for this one. Right, so we've got that, and then I'm going to go in next with the next layer on the die, and I've cut this out, look, with those perfect papers. So you can see that lovely design on here. I do really like this colour green in the perfect paper. It is a nice fresh colour, and it won't be long. It'll be spring, will be here before we know it. So let's pop these off there. I've already added in some foam tape. And then I'm going to pop this on there like that. And then our next layer, I've gone in with our smooth cardstock. So the next layer in the die, and again, I've just gone round with some foam tape just to add some height in between each of these layers. So we'll add that in there. So just pop that down. Oh. And then we've got that. And then I'm going to go in now. So the next one that goes on top, you can see is that lovely design that will just sit on top of that. And I've cut that out in the same, so it's the same green, but it's the solid color because you do get the solid and the pattern in the same color in the perfect papers. And I've just popped a few foam pads across the top of here that don't want to stick. Let me see if these will come off. Yeah, it's just that one. Right, so we'll pop this on. This has got a lovely embossed detail on there as well. So it's a nice detail panel to go across the top, which is one thing I love. The Carnation do think of every panel. You never have to think of, oh, you know, how am I going to cut out a matinea to go onto that shape? They do think of all of your matineas and every element to go on. So that now what I find easiest to do is just match up the bottom bit and then just bring it around. And then that will just go down there, like that. So I've got my card shape now ready to go. And then we're going to bring in, now these two corner pieces, you also get the little panels to fit in there as well. So you can see, and they've even got, I don't know if you're going to pick this up on mine. Yeah, so you've even got that lovely embossed detail on those panels as well. So I'm going to pop them in. And I'm not worried about this centerpiece because I am going to be covering that anyway. So let's just pop a little bit of glue on there like that. And then we're going to start building up. Now, before I start building up, you also get these little pop-up tabs in there as well. So I'm just going to pop a little bit of glue on there. Now, the score lines for these are in the die. You don't have to do anything. You just fold them over on themselves, glue the end of those tabs, and then I just like to give them a little pinch, and you make your own little rectangle box. So then you can pop that anywhere then, and it's giving you that height. And obviously when that's dry, when you've popped your card on, that will just fold flat and then pop back up. So if you are posting anything, that's obviously going to help then, because everything will just go down flat. Right, now I've got a couple of different elements here to bring in. So let's start building everything up. So I'm going to bring in this bit first. I'm going to start, I think, on the bottom. So let's grab some pin flare and we can build this up. So just add these in. Right, now I'm going to pop that there, kind of on the edge. And then I've grabbed the jar and I'm just going to give that a bit of shape. And then we can pop this there like that. And then this one, I'm going to turn it around so it's coming out this way a bit more. So I'm going to pop some glue on the back of that, obviously using the mirrored vignettes. We can flip these round and mix and match them up in different ways. So I'm going to pop that right in the middle there. Let me put a bit more glue on the top. Right, so that is going to go there. Like that. Now this one, I've got another one here and I've cut it down. So I just changed the shape because you can get bottles like that, I thought. So I thought, oh, that looks quite cute if you just cut it down and then you can pop that in and it just gives it, if I added another one exactly the same, it would, for me, it would like throw it off because like they're all kind of the same height. So just cutting that down and having that in there, it just helps when you're just building up your layer, having those in different heights. So I'm going to pop that there. And then those grounding elements I've got, and I did explain this in the yesterday show. So you can see that's how that's going to come to you. And then I've just cut it down the middle. You don't have to be perfect with these because all I'm going to do now is use these just as little like tuck-ins just to help ground everything. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on the back. And I'm going to tuck one there like that. Oh, without moving everything. So just put one there on the bottom. And then I'm going to put another one on the other side then. And it kind of gives you the illusion that it's really long as well. And it's going across everything. So if I tuck that one there. So it just helps ground everything and you've got everything there together. And then let's bring in our lovely flowers. Now I'm going to bring in these leaves first and I'm going to pop these in. Now I'm going to cut these down mainly because I'm going to be tucking them in and around. So I don't want to move everything as I'm doing it. So I'm going to just pop a little bit of glue on there and I'm going to start building up this side first. So I'm going to pop that in there. And what I find easiest is if you get your largest elements first, so like these leaves, I'm going to grab them and then just put them kind of where I want the flowers to go. And then you can just build around that then. So then if I grab these and then I can just build with my leaves then, because I kind of already have my kind of layout of where I want to go, if that makes sense. Let's pop that in. So I'm going to pop that on top of that like that. And then this one. So I've got another one the same, but I'm just going to cut that down. And then we can do the same thing. So I'm going to tuck that there like that. And this is why I always use pin flare when I'm doing flowers or anything, because I always end up picking things up and tucking things in. You can just have a play around with these. So I'm going to get one of my flowers and I'm going to pop one there on the top. And then I've got another one that I'm going to tuck kind of in the middle. So I'm going to put that one there. And then I've got one of the other flowers then that I want to go there. So I'm just going to cut that down so I don't move any of the vases on the bottom. Give that a bit of shape. And then pop a little bit of glue. And then we can tuck that there. So that's nice on the front. And then this bit. Should we let's do a sentiment first. So I've got Celebrating You. Now this is the same green that we've used in the background, and obviously I've used the solid colorway for that one. And then let's just add a little bit of glue on this, and then I can pop this onto the mat. So that's just going to sit on there. And then that helps, that mat really does help just bring your eye onto that sentiment. And now if I pop the sentiment onto here, so just put a little bit of glue on that, we can pop that there. So just pop that on the back of the sentiment. Just move that up so you can't see it. And now that will stand up. So we can have that there at the front, or we can have it in the middle. And that is just going to, I feel like in there. Yeah. Right, so let's just glue that on. I do not feel confident that is going to stick for a minute, but we'll go with it. Right, so then if I lift that up, you can see how that will just, that stands up in front of everything. But then you can see we've got that lovely window, so some vellum there. So have a look on the website. We do have vellum on the website, which goes perfect with this. Acetate, I have got another demo as well where I've used the acetate for this. And last time I used acetate, I did get a couple of messages off people asking me about die cutting with acetate. Now I have cut out that back panel, so the one we've used for the card, that with the acetate, the Carnation Crafts acetate, to have in that window, and it cuts perfectly. So if you do want to try using the acetate and having the acetate there behind the window, then the Carnation Crafts one will cut perfectly, because it is a large die to be able to cut out, but you can see that building that up, but they look beautiful. So you can see everything that I've used there, um, from the in the Sunroom collection. So you can see how they just mix and match. They work perfectly together. You don't really have to think about them. You can just grab, you could just die cut the whole collection and just have everything there for you, and you could just grab anything. It really is a really nice collection where everything comes together on its own. You don't really need to think about what you're doing. They just come together completely on their own, and they look incredible as well. Obviously, you do have the artwork to download on the website. So you can download everything that you've seen me use, all the samples, the artwork you can see on the packaging there. You can download completely free of charge. I would say if anybody's new watching, or maybe this is your first collection that you were getting, always print on pro print paper, which we do have on the website, but that's going to give you that same vibrant look that you can see on all of the samples and the ones that we have used as well. Right, now this one, we are going to use the frames. So to start off with, I have got a card. I don't even know how big this card is. It's only a small little card. Hang on, it is 5.5 by 4.5. So we've got our card. Okay, now I said to you about the panels, you can use them in different ways. So you can cut out like your complete oval like that. You can then cut it out in the perfect paper, and you can snip away the inside part, and you can have it so your frame is coloured on top of your frame, and then obviously you've got matte lace to go in the centre. This floral panel is a separate die. So what that means is we can take a card. So think about like those packs of maybe card bases you've got, all card stock that you're keeping to use as card bases. You can now turn them into like cards like that, where you can just use the panel on its own. And then what I've done, so I've popped that on there, run it through. So obviously if you're doing a card, you need to pop the die on and leave the card open and run it through, because obviously you don't want it to die cut through the back as well. So run that through, and then obviously when that pops out, you've got that lovely lace panel. And then all I've done is cut out a layer, just a mat, like I would if it was going on the front, in the orange colour from the Perfect Papers. And then I'm going to glue that now on the inside. So the front of the card is going to look like that. So you've just taken like maybe a card pack, maybe that you've got that you haven't used for ages, and you've just turned it into a beautiful card just from one run of your die cutting machine. So we're going to glue these together. So just run some glue on there. So if I spin that around, so we've got our card there. So we've got the card, you've got that lovely panel on the inside. So now I've cut out the next layer, which is with the frame. So I've cut that out in orange. Let's pop that there. So let's add in some foam tape on here. And we'll just snip this off. So just raising this layer up from obviously our card. So I'll bring that in, and then that will just sit there in the center. And then I've cut out that frame again, but then this time I've added in the lace panel. So that floral panel you have got, that will sit on top. So you've got the option of having it as a plain panel, or you can put that petal panel in there like that, and you can see how detailed that is. Oh, I do apologize if my is going a, a bit funny. It's so strange because obviously I can see my camera and then I can see what you guys can see, and mine is completely fine. It was fine yesterday. Maybe it's just having a wobbly today. I don't know. Well, I'll put these foam pads. I'll put these foam pads on here. Maybe it just needs a second to kind of catch up with itself or something. Oh, Bunny's saying it's getting better. Maybe I was just going a bit too quick for her. So there, look, you can see now. So you can see the, the lovely floral patterns. We've got the frame. So obviously, if I open this up there, so you can see you've got your card, that panel. So you've got that frame. So the frame now I've cut out on its own, and then this one I've added in that floral design. So you've got that colour coming through the bottom, but you've still got that frame. So I've got some pads on here. So let's pull these off now and pop that on there. Oh, can you still hear me? Oh, you can hear me. It's just frozen. Okay, well, I'll see if it'll. I don't know why it's so bad today. Let's see if I can. Am I going to connect that? Oh, I haven't done anything yet. I'm still pulling the pads off. Yeah, you with me. Right, let's add that in there. And then I've got the net. Are you still with me? Yeah. So then I've cut out that frame panel again. So you can see I've gone in, you've got that lovely easy aperture design, and I've just snipped that away. So it's left me with just the frame in the perfect papers. So you've got the frame. So you can see how much you can mix and match these up. Obviously you can just use them as they are if you want, and you can just build those up, but lots of different ways that you can use these. So I'm going to just pop some glue on the back of here. So let's just add a bit of glue. So let's add that in there. So we've got that, and then I'm going to bring in, now for this one I liked like the fresh look of the card, so I'm going to keep this one quite simple. So I've got joyful wishes sentiment, and I've cut this out in the orange, so it's that same lovely orange color that we've done in the background, and I've got the mat here for that as well. So they're just going to clip together. I'm going to give this a little bit of shape. So I'm just going to round that off a bit. Well, some pin flare, and I'm just going to put pin flare on the outside. And we're going to pop that there. And then I've got my little bird. It's so pretty. Really, really pretty. The artwork. Like even the little eyes, like they look like they're glassy, just with the little highlights and things in there. They look amazing. So I'm gonna pop this in, and I'm just gonna pop a little bird right in the middle. So I'm just gonna kind of tuck her there like that and keep that quite clean and simple. But it could be anything, couldn't it? It could be a wedding card, it could be get well. I mean, joyful wishes as well. That could be new job. It could be, you know, maybe new house. It could be somebody's just, they're going through something, baby card. There's so many different ways that you can use them, and they just pop. Really simple, really easy to make as well. So they were. Oh, now she's getting into it. Bunny's just said it could even be a Christmas card. See, this is what you're going to do in a bunny all year round. Is you're going to be like, oh, that could be a Christmas card. Now Christmas is over, she's finally getting into the Christmas spirit. Right, so let's have a look at some of the design team samples. So we have got Bunny in the studio. So you can see some of our samples here, and you can just look how effective they look building up those scenes. You can see the little bird there on the perch. And that one was using the card shape. And then again here, so you can see so many different ways of using that card shape. This is the one that we used in the first demo, and you can see that one now looks completely different. Just leaving out that window as well changes the look of them. So lots of different ways that you'll be able to use those. Then we've got the frame here, look, with the bird on. I just think they look so pretty. Like the birds, they just stand out so much as well. The artwork on this is amazing. And so many different ways of using those frames too. Then we've got this. Oh, I like this one with those dark colors because it's kind of, it makes it pop a lot, doesn't it? Those birds really pop using those darker colors for the background. That almost looks more masculine as well. Oh, antique bunny saying, yeah. So you could use these for male and female cards as well. Then we've got that lovely frame again, that oval one here. I think I really like these frames. I think they're just so usable. You've got the flowers there as well. You can build these up to use them in so many different and other collections as well. This collection would fit in with so many other collections just to build on. And then you can see that again using that card shape, how it was made. And then, right, let's do. Um, oh, is it gone again? Okay. Shall we do a frame or a card shape? What would you like to do, Bunny? A card shape. Let's. Right, I'm just gonna grab this one because this one's the closest one to me. Have I gone again? Let's see. I don't know why he's playing up today though. Right, let's. Right now, oh, this is actually quite a similar one to the one we did earlier. So I'm going to be using the centerpiece to build my card up. Will it focus on that? Uh, No. Right, I'll go slow and see if it catches up. Right, so let's add in some foam tape. So I'll just add in. Oh, should I take it off the mat? No. I was gonna say, should I take it off the mat? Because then it might. No, I can't think what I could do to. Yeah. We'll have a play around before the next show. See if we can do something with it. Right, let's pull this off. So I've got a sheet. Now the center part of that card shape, which is going to give you that lovely window, I've cut the middle panel out so you can see that center part, you have got those like easy aperture designs going through the center, and I've snipped those away. And then I've cut that panel out again with our acetate. So we've got this available on the website. So you can go and have a look at that. And I'm going to just stick that on there like that. So I've got that aperture. All I can hear is Bunny saying, "Oh, we're catching up, we're catching up," and then she's like, "No, no, we're not, no, we're not." It was fine yesterday, wasn't it? I don't know. We haven't done anything different. I haven't done anything different, so I don't know. Maybe it's just having a wobbly. Technology is amazing until it doesn't work. And if it doesn't work, I haven't got a clue what to do. Right, let's pop these off. So I've added foam tape now on top of the foam tape that we already added, because obviously you can see that foam tape through the vellum, so I know exactly where that's going. And then we can add in the next layer then. So we've cut out that one again, but this time I've added in the window, so you can see you've got that lovely frosted effect. No, it's so strange because like on my and then the other one's just like, no, I don't want to play ball today. We'll have a play around before the next show and see what we can do. So let's add some foam tape on here. So I'm going to go in now with the next panel, which is going to go on top. Now I've cut this out with the perfect paper. So you've got that lovely, it's like a floral regal design going through that in that lovely orange color again. Oh, Bunny says we've caught up now, have we? Oh, Johnny just love it when things start going wrong. Right, let's pop this on. So we've got the next layer now in that lovely orange color. So that is going to sit on there like that. So we've got that one over the edge, and then I'm going to just glue the next one down. So I've got my white layer next. This is the super smooth that we've got on the website as well. So let's add that in. So I'm just going to pop that on there, and that will just sit there like that. And then I've got the same perfect paper again for that top layer. So that you've gone again, and yeah, I could tell by the way you just said yeah. Right, I'm just going to add some glue on here. And pop that in there. I do apologize, guys. We will try and have a, I don't know what we'll do, but we'll try and have a look at what we can do before the next one. So add that there like that. It's so, I look so good on the one screen. All right, let's just carry on. Right, so I'm going to start building pieces up. Now I've got the tabs again, so those pop-up boxes that you can make. I've got one of those. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on the end and bring them together. So I'm just going to grab a pair of tweezers and just give them squeeze. So you've made that rectangle again. So you've made that little pop-up element. So we've got that. Now they are in the die set, and don't forget the score lines are built in, so you don't have to go in with anything for them. And then I've got a couple of bits here, look, from I've got the little trinket box, and I've got that lovely clock as well. Right, so let's build this up. So I'm gonna come in. I've got the flower pot here as well. So I'm gonna put the clock, I think, there in no, I'm gonna put it there just off a bit. So let's put you got me now. Let's add a little trinket box. Now, one of the things I did in another demo, which I love the idea of, is I cut the lid off. So it just looked like a little trinket box, obviously with a closed lid. So don't ever be afraid of going in and snipping into them as well, because you always get lots of snippability. You've got all those detail lines in there, and all of the cut lines, they follow along. So you just you're not fussy cutting, you're just snipping bits away. Now I'm going to put that plant pot behind there, and I'm just going to push it down a little bit, because obviously you can't see the bottom of it anyway, and I just want that to be a little bit higher, and then our clock is going to go there next to it. So let's pop that in. So I'm just going to pop that. No, I'm going to put it on front like that. And then you've got the decoupage piece as well, so that clock face. Let's add a bit of pin flare on there. Pop that in. And then what we're going to do is build. Actually, I'm going to put the bird in, I think, first. Now, the bird I'm going to put on the back of here. So he is going to sit on there like that. Okay, so I'm just going to add a bit of glue onto the back of there. And we'll pop that on there like that, because that is now giving us that much height off of the card. Oh. And then I'm going to just pop that and get some glue. And we'll pop the bird on there like that, so he looks as if he's stood up. Right, and now we're going to build up let's add a bit more on the bottom first. So I've got the soil, as Bunny was telling me off yesterday for calling it dirt. And I'm just going to add a bit of glue onto the bottom of it. And then I'm just going to pop that onto there. So it looks like we've got some soil coming out of the pot. And then I've also got this bit that I'm going to do the same thing we did earlier. So I'm just going to snip the center. And it just helps. I find it just helps to like ground those elements together and bring that almost like a little scene. It just brings everything in. Like just those three there now. But me just adding this in there. And this bit. Add this. Yeah, we'll add that there. Oh, yeah. So Bonnie's just said that somebody messaged in yesterday saying this collection would be really good for bird watchers. That's a good idea. Yeah. Because I feel like bird watching is quite a big hobby. So that would be a nice one for making cards like that. So can you see now, just adding those two pieces there, how much of a difference that's made just in that little area? It's just grounded everything and just brought it all together. So now we can bring some flowers in and start doing some decorating. So I'm going to pop that there like that. And then I've got another one. Oh, I can't remember what they were called on it. Cow parsley. I just want to say baby's breath every time I look at it. I don't know. I thought, is baby's breath something different? I haven't got a clue. Oh, Bunny saying maybe baby's breath is just what people call it, and it's the same thing. Maybe. I don't know. If it is baby's breath and that's just like a nickname for the flower, then I think I deserve brownie points for that one because not only did I knew the nickname of the flower, Bunny. She's not agreeing with me, but let's add in some more. Now I'm gonna add in the larger pieces first, and these obviously are green and they've got white florals on. So I'm going to add these ones in first, and then I can bring in the coloured bits then. So I'm just tucking these in, just kind of building these up, and then I'm going to bring in our flowers then. So these are just going to bring that bit of colour along the edge there. So add a bit of pin flare on there. So I'm going to pop one right at the front there, and then I'm just going to cut this stem down so I don't knock anything that I don't want to knock over. And then I'm going to tuck this one about there. So that's kind of coming up the same. And then let's grab our sentiment. So I've got joyful wishes that I've cut out in our super smooth cardstock. And I'm just going to add some glue on there, and then I've got the mat in that same patterned orange from the perfect paper, so I'm just going to pop that on there. So you've got your sentiment with that background, which I think stands out lovely. Now I do have another one of those pop-up elements, so we could put that there and have it pop up, or we could have it there. So should we put it on another one of these? So this one you can see I haven't folded, so you can see your score lines built in for you. So you do get, I think there's two, isn't there? In the die. So you can cut out multiples of these. And do you know what's so nice about these as well? Is like, do you know, for me, if you've been die cutting and then you've got little bits, little corners or little strips of cardstock from like cutting out the card base or anything, just cut a load of these out as you're cutting them out. If you've got like a little gap, just pop this on the plate and cut them out and just have these kind of on your desk, because you'll use these all the time with any collection. There's nothing, that you have to keep to this collection, because obviously you'll be able to use these with everything. So those little bits of waste cardstock, or the little bits that you'd end up throwing away anyway, you've now got a use for them. So I'm going to pop that on the back there like that. So this sentiment is going to really stand proud. The tab's just come loose. Just give that a squeeze. And then we can pop some glue on the back of there. And then that I'm going to pop there. Is it? I don't know if like maybe I'm going to come closer to see if maybe it'll focus in. Oh, do you know the one side looks so good, which is obviously the side that you guys can't see, but it looks so clear on the one side. But I mean, you can still see it, and we're still bringing the demos. So Oh, we're going now. Let Let's have a look at the product so you can see what you will get. So you can see the full collection here. So you've got your 5 dies. You've got big dies in here. You've got the card base. You've got your florals with your flower pot, your misters, and everything to build those scenes up. You've got the birds, the perches there for them. You've got the sentiments. Plus, you've got those little trinket boxes as well. We are on 30% of the stock of this has gone. So, despite everything, and you guys obviously sticking with us through the show, it has still been so popular with everybody at home. Are we going to the frames as well? Yeah, and we have the most beautiful intricate frames as well. You've got a lovely petal design going around the frames. These are 260107. Do we know did we have stock of these? Oh, Bunny's saying they were popular yesterday, but she hasn't had a stock update for these yet today. So we'll find one out for the next show. But these, I'm not surprised these are popular because it's a petal design as well. So if you think of any floral dyes that you have at home, you'll be able to mix these with, even just without bringing in other dyes, like the one we demoed earlier. You could absolutely done that and left the bird off and just popped a sentiment on them. They look incredibly detailed. So you've got a beautiful base straight away to work with. Now we will run through the boards so you can see what each one does look like. So you've got that car base to start off with. So you've got that lovely window, you've got all of the matte layers, you've got the side panels, you've even got the matte layers for those side panels as well. And you can see those pop-up strips at the bottom there. So that's what we were just using. Then you've got the flowers, you've got all of the florals, you've got the misters, you've got the pots, you've got the jars here. You've even got like the little sign like to go into the little pot, which I think is so cute. So you can put little sentiments on them, or maybe like an age of a birthday. Mix these up. They are beautiful. The artwork is incredible, and the birds look incredible. They would be perfect for anybody who's a bird watcher because I think they just look so detailed. And you've got the little perches there as well, so you can really build a scene up around these, but equally they're all in elements that they look as if they're sat on something. So you could have it like sat on that clock, or you could have it sat on the trinket box, and they just work together so well. You've got those grounding elements in there as well, so lovely dice to build the scene up. And then plus your 3 sentiments. Now these sentiments as well, they're quite generic as well, so you could use these for different occasions too. You could mix up, maybe bring in your stamps with these as well, so you'd be able to use these for different occasions. And then we've got the botanical lace collection. So you've got those frames, like I said, it's a beautiful petal design going through the frame. And what I love about these is how much you can mix and match them up. So you can cut out the frame and have the frame on top, or you could leave the petal panel out, or you could use the petal panel on its own on a card, or you've just got so many options of how you want to mix and match these up and how you want to mat and layer them up. So they're going to be so perfect to use with other collections as well, because obviously they're your matte layers and your card bases. Right, thank you so much, everybody, for sticking with us through that show. Me and Bunny will have a look to see if we can do anything ready for the next show. But hopefully, message in, come back and join us.